and welcome to this very special edition of Springwell News with me, Dylan.
And me, Olivia.
When we hear the word emotion, most of us think of love, hate, happiness or fear. Those strong feelings we experience through life.
Our emotions are the driving force behind many of our behaviours, helpful or unhelpful. But where do our emotions come from?
The pupils of Springwell have been doing a lot of research around why they get angry and what they can do to keep control of their emotions.
What do you mean?
Imagine that you really want to play football at playtime, but when everyone is going outside you can't find your shoes, and when you do finally get to the pitch, the teams have been picked and it's too late for you to play. Maybe you got so mad that a small problem became a big problem in an instant. When we lose control of our emotion like this, we can call it flipping our lid, kind of like the way a pot would do if it was too full or too hot.
A little while later, after you've cooled down, you might even feel sad when you realise that when you had a big reaction to a little problem, you could have hurt someone's feelings.
What if I told you that this happens to everyone? Your parents, friends and teachers and everyone else you know can flip their lid and lose control of their emotions. Sometimes we all need to work on managing our feelings.
Have you ever wondered why we can have such hard time keeping our emotions under control? It can be really tough being a kid these days. There's just so much going on every day, at home, at school, even after school. Sometimes it's hard to keep a lid on things, and we can act in ways that are not kind and caring, even though we don't mean to be hurtful. There are so many situations that we encounter every day that can cause our emotions to bubble up. Maybe you felt upset or frustrated when you were working on a problem or activity at school and just can't seem to get it right. Maybe something unexpected or embarrassing happened to you in front of your friends. Maybe you had something important to say but didn't get a chance to say it. There are many more situations that can cause both kids and adults to flip their lids.
So why does this even happen? Well, it has to do with the way our amazing human brain works to help us keep safe. This is your brain, the part of the body that controls everything that you do. Let's take a closer look at the brain and how they can work together to keep a lid on things.
It's a pretty complicated organ, so we're going to use our hand to help us visualise what is happening up there. Let's imagine that our brain has an upstairs and a downstairs. Here's where our thumb is, called our midbrain. This is where our emotions and memories are created and stored. Below that is your brain stem. The brain stem controls the things we do that we don't have to think about, like breathing. It also controls our automatic reactions to certain situations. For example, if you touch a cup with hot tea in it and it's too hot, your downstairs brain feels the pain and will pull your hand away to stop you from getting burnt. It's an automatic reaction. You don't have to stop and think about what to do or imagine you're out on a walk and a bear walks into your path. Your brain doesn't stop and think what kind of a bear it is. It's friendly. Your downstairs brain notices that you feel scared. It takes charge in a split second, decides whether or not you should fight, fly, another way for run away, or freeze.
Because of the way our downstairs brain reacts to these situations, we can think of it as our emotional brain because it reacts instantly without having to think things through. It's always willing to take charge in any situation to help keep you safe. So if this is your downstairs brain, then this part where the back of our hand and fingers are can be seen as our upstairs brain, called the cerebral cortex. This part of our brain helps us think logically, act with kindness, and think about how others might be feeling. It's also the problem-solving part of our brain. It helps us to think of possible solutions to a problem and decide which one is best. The upstairs brain is our thinking brain.
Your upstairs and downstairs brain don't work alone. Your brain is set up so that your upstairs and downstairs brain can communicate with itself. It sends messages from section to section all the time about what our bodies feel and need.
Let's take a close look at our brain fist. Where our fingertips are our logic and reasoning part of the brain that springs into action when we have a problem to solve, and usually it does a great job of doing it. But sometimes it can have a hard time solving a problem if the emotional brain and the thinking brain can't communicate well enough. This can happen when your emotions get too overwhelming and your downstairs brain decides that this situation might be dangerous even if it isn't really, and we all know what happens when our downstairs brain thinks we're in danger. It triggers our flight, fight or freeze reflex. Our emotions start to bubble up and suddenly everything boils over. We flip our lids. This can look like a scary, angry reaction, or it might be crying or running away from a problem.
Now that we've flipped our lids, see how far away our fingertips are from our midbrain. When our lids are flipped, our upstairs and downstairs brain can't talk to each other. Our emotions have become too strong and we can't think clearly. We can't solve a problem in a peaceful way.
So what can we do to stop us from flipping our lid? Well, it all starts with realising that we are about to flip our lid and then turning down the heat so it doesn't happen. Remember that football game we spoke about at the beginning of the video? You were really upset and didn't get to play. Maybe you felt your tummy rumble and you felt your face getting hot. Did your heart start to pound and did you feel your hands start to clench? Were you frustrated, disappointed and angry? These types of feelings are all indicators that you might be close to flipping your lid. If you feel this start to happen, it's a good idea to walk away, take some deep breaths and look for someone to talk to. Before you flip your lid, it might be a parent, grandparent, coach, teacher or another trusted adult nearby. They can help you with strategies to help you solve the problem. Once you've calmed down enough for your upstairs brain to be ready to do some peaceful problem solving. If you do flip your lid, those same trusted adults can offer you some time and space to cool down before you start to problem solve together.
Once your upstairs brain is back in charge, you can share your story and get some help by using I statement. Can help you tell an adult what you need. I need a hug. I need you to listen to what I have to say. I need another chance. I need some alone time. I need a walk. I need you to see that I can do well.
Learning more about the brain and how it works can really help us to understand our emotions and to be peaceful problem solvers. When we listen to our bodies and our brains, we can turn the challenges of being a kid into opportunities to learn and grow.
So that's why we get angry at it. It all makes sense now.
Thank you so much for listening, and remember, when you feel like you're about to flip that lid, use strategies to keep that upstairs brain in control.
And for me, myself and Dylan, have a good day.